Hi, I'm Brandon Shaw, co-CEO of Down to Earth Productions, and this is part 4 of Something to Think About. These two words right here, love and hate, these are abstract words. And in my personal opinion, to get a better understanding of these words, because people really misuse what these two words specifically are. So I'm going to give you the clearest, most simplest definition of what love is and what hate is. Love is something that we strongly like. Hate is the opposite. It's something that we strongly dislike. Now, there's a lot of things in life that we like, and there's a lot of things in life that we don't like. Now, I'm going to talk about emotions and energy for a few minutes. Now, that's why I put the adverb strongly attached to these abstract words, love and hate. See, when you strongly like something, your energy is emotion, so you're more emotional about it. You're be more engaged into it. Like, prime example, it's a difference between someone who likes to listen to rap music and someone who actually does rap. Now, a person who listens to rap music, they can love it. They can strongly like it by buying CDs or going online, downloading the music, streaming it. But a person that's really doing it, that's going to show their love even more. Because not only do they like doing what the first person did, they also like to act off of it. And that's what love is an action. Same thing with hate. This is not a feeling. That's an abstract word. You can't feel love, you can't see love, you can't taste it, you can't smell it, and you can't touch it. So let's get on back on to the discussion. So I'm gonna give you a prime example. There's a lot of fake love too, but I'm gonna get to that later on in this lecture. Now I'm gonna give another biblical reference about love and hate, talking about Samson. Now, Samson was a Israelite, and he was fighting against the Philistines. Now, Samson got his powers through God. He had strength, just like similar to Hercules. So, but Samson had a weakness, and that was that love for Philistine women. Now, he know that the Philistines are his enemy. God was confused this love with another L word called lust. You know, it's two completely different things. So getting back to the story. So now, the Philistines couldn't figure out how to beat Samson. Samson was beating them down every day, all night, every day. And so eventually they came together and was like, okay, how can we get Samson? So the Philistines studied. They did their research. They sent a woman his way. And that woman's name was Delilah. So now they paid Delilah gold, jewelry, gave her luxury. We want you to go ahead and, we want you to figure out what makes Samson so strong. So that's what she did. So she met Samson. Samson, mad over heels in love with her. Once again, it's very important what I'm about to talk about, what I'm about to get to, is love. Now, Delilah didn't love Samson. But she pretended to, though. Because she can see that Samson loved her. Now, why is that? Think about that. See, people can observe you give that energy and motion with things you strongly like. See, Delilah can see that Samson strongly liked her because how he was acting. He was all happy, joyful, so going on with the story. Delilah and Samson, they was living together. They was in a house, Delilah was getting them drinking and things like that, got in his ear. Samson, how you get your powers? What makes you so strong? Samson lied to her, said, it was this, you tied his rope behind my back, and I'll lose my strength. So while he was asleep, guess what? Delilah let the Philistines in the house. And then yelled, Samson, the Philistines here, the Philistines here. When the Philistines came in there, Samson seen them coming. He broke out the rope and killed them. She kept doing this over and over again. Why is Samson not thinking? He's in his emotions, meaning he's not analyzing long enough. He's not realizing that this woman is a Philistine. And see, that's why they got that saying, love is blind. It's like a song with Faith Evans and Eve did a long time ago. Love is blind, and it will take over your mind. What you think is love is truly not. You need to elevate and find. Listen to those words very carefully. Go listen to that song. That's a very important song that talks about love. But getting back to the story. So, out of all these attempts of Delilah trying to let Samson know how you get so strong, and Samson just kept lying to her. And then what Delilah did? She did the ultimate thing. And we know women do this a lot. To break a man down. They start to nagging and complaining. That's what Delilah did. Samson, if you love me, you will tell me how you got your strength, and you're supposed to be my husband, and doing all that. Samson got tired. He didn't want to hear it. Okay, my strength comes from my hair. My hair. That's where I get my strength from. So, Delilah got Samson drunk, cut his hair off, left the Philistines in the house. They came in there, Samson tried to break free, couldn't, because he lost his strength. Now they beat Samson up. They took him somewhere, took him away. And this is why the writers who wrote this story in the Bible. So the Philistines, they gouged Samson's eyes out. Yeah, ask yourself and think about that. Why would they do that? So now they wanted to punish Samson. So they wanted to really embarrass him. So they threw a big party. The Philistines. They had Samson on two pillars, and just like this, tied up. Samson blind, can't see. Now he's praying to God, what have I done? He lost his strength. He lost his power. We all have that power, that strength. And we can lose it easily because of this right here. Because what we think is love is truly not. We need to elevate and find. This ain't just love for people, it's love for items, physical things, food. What we think, what we love is really not. And that's how Samson got caught up. Now, Samson realized Delilah never loved me. Now, don't you think that's real funny that how he had both his eyes? The eyes that can see. Like I'm looking at this camera. He couldn't see with his own eyes that Delilah didn't love him. But when he lost his eyes, his physical eyes, that's when he could see. That's a representation, that's a metaphor of showing you that love is blind. And the opposite of love is this hate, something you strongly dislike. Another misconception of this. For example, it can be a certain food that you don't like, a certain music artist, or a certain athlete you don't like. Now, somebody on the other hand might strongly like that athlete. Like, prime example, LeBron James. I personally don't like LeBron James as a basketball player, but I'm not going to get into it. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not taking away anything. I'm not saying he wasn't great. He ain't great at anything. I just don't like him. I like other basketball players. Now, someone will come along who strongly likes LeBron James, and they will call me what? A hater. But I don't hate LeBron James. I just don't like him as a basketball player and things that he does. But see, when people lack those critical thinking skills, and because the opposite of love is hate, because somebody can strongly love something, strongly like something, and then they'll tell you because you just don't like it. Because like I said before, if it's just a dislike, it's not hate. It's no action towards it. I don't like tuna. That don't mean I hate tuna. Now if I go out here and say, oh, Joe, you hella stupid, you nasty, you the nastiest person ever because you eat tuna, oh man, you just nasty, you just disgust me. You know, and then I'm going out here with protesting and not selling tuna. Now that represents hate. It's like a lot of homosexuals nowadays. There's hate. People hate a person because they like the same sex. Now, homosexuality doesn't affect the individual. What people do with their own personal business, that's what they do. But you got to ask yourself and think about it. How does being gay stop me, who is a heterosexual, from spiritual growth? It doesn't. Is it robbing me for my money? It doesn't. Is it going to kill me? It doesn't. See, when we're not focused on ourselves, we end up, because we don't have that love for ourselves. So we end up hating things that we don't like. And then because we see another person who strongly likes that type of behavior, Like I said, two homosexuals, you see them, they happy. But because somebody doesn't like it, and they see somebody that strongly likes it, that like becomes a strongly dislike. Now they hate it. Oh, I can't stand homos. They're just nasty. It's God didn't make us that way. Then yada, yada, yada. Everybody got a choice. Same thing with a lot of things, especially with the media. They put a lot of images in people's head to get you to strongly hate something that you never sit down here and think, what do I even know? The information. Get your information. Because there's going to be people who don't like you because they see you strongly liking something else. And then they see people react off of that. So people can go from disliking you, from strongly disliking you, because they see that you're strongly liking something in the area. You can be doing something like you're doing music, for prime example. You're a good musical artist and things like that, And now, you start getting a buzz, getting a bigger buzz, you know what I'm saying? Now, the other person might not like you because of who you are, because how they judge and perceive you. But because of that buzz now, and people are talking about you. Because this other person was talking about this music artist all the time. Oh, man, he this, he that, he's weird, he's crazy, yada, yada, yada. But then they see this person strongly liking the music and getting a buzz. Now the person who's disliking that musician strongly dislikes. Now they start rumors. They want to tell lies on that person when this person has done nothing to them. This is a chaos that is really the main issue in our society today. It's because of this love and hate. Another example, I'm going to give an example of fake love. Now there was a local artist recently that passed away called Nipsey Hussle. Now I'm going to explain this. I'm going to tie in the same thing with Jesus Christ, because this was written a long time ago. Now Nipsey Hussle, was a local artist that was building his community. He was taking the money he got from music and other businesses, and that's what he was doing, putting it back in his own community where he lived at. Now those who know who Nipsey Hussle is, know what happened last month? What happened? He got murdered. Right in front of his own store that he owned, the Marathon. A lot of people are asking, where was his protection at? Where was his bodyguards? What did Nipsey Hussle do to somebody? All he was trying to do was just better the world. But see, like I said, when people are living in hate, strongly hate, that self-hate, when people like Nipsey Hussle come along, they feel threatened. So now this man's out this world. He's out the physical. But I'm going to get you to know the power of love. I'm going to show you what fake love is, what it really is. So now Nipsey Hussle's dead. And then what people started to do? Everybody started playing this music. You see all this post on Facebook, everybody crying crocodile tears. Oh, Nipsey Hussle was a real one, this and that. And he was. But stop and think about this, though. Use your analytical skills. Critical thinking. There are a lot of people out here that are still to this day doing what Nipsey Hussle doing. Are you paying them attention? Are you showing them that love in the physical? Just like the same way, was you showing that same love to Nipsey Hussle when he was alive? Because what my eyes seen was after he died, I see the memorial on YouTube. All these people showed out right in front of his corner store. So ask yourself, why wasn't people showing that love to Nipsey Hussle in the flesh? Same thing with Jesus Christ. Why wasn't people claiming Jesus as Savior in the flesh? When Jesus only had 12 followers. Now everybody is so-called clout chasing. Because now it's popular to talk about Nipsey Hussle. Oh yeah, he was this, he was a real one. And we get that. We already know that. But there are also real ones that are in the flesh. Why do people when they're alive don't get the same love, but they get more love when they're not alive? That's because the spiritual love is way more powerful. Because people fear that flesh, and this is a hate. Because they don't want to come off as, I don't want to act like I'm, being a butt kisser and this, and that. Because, human beings, we have egos. But if you're not in the human form, there's no more ego. So it's easy to love Nipsey Hussle after he died than when he was alive. A lot of people never listened to this guy's music. Look at all the radio stations. When the day he died, that week, played all his music. But you already knew that this guy had music out. He was nominated for a Grammy. And I live in St. Louis. Before Nipsey Hussle died, I didn't hear any of his music. I mean, I rarely heard it. And he was a great artist. Rarely heard it. But after he died, I hear it every day. Because of that fake love. People are not going to love you as much in the flesh than they will when you're out of the flesh. Because you're in an unlimited reality. See, that love in the physical reality is limited. It's very limited. Which means it don't last long. And just like Jesus Christ, we don't know who murdered Nipsey Hussle. I mean, they say it's a guy named Eric Holder, but basically he knew him, knew some of them, which represent Judas. Your own people, your own human race is killing each other all because of this right here. Because they strongly dislike something in another person because they don't have the confidence to do it themselves. They don't have the courage. Nipsey Hussle had the courage and was giving back to his community, letting people know, be an entrepreneur, talking about Dr. Sebi, about eating healthy, doing all positive things, going to the police department, telling them, how can we find ways to stop all the gangs from killing people and doing all these other negative things in our community so we can go on progress. But the people that were living like that ain't like that. So whether it's the government or whoever, same thing with Jesus. They didn't like Jesus Christ going around telling people, hey, you don't have to be a prostitute. Just stop doing it. You don't have to be a crook. Just stop doing it. You don't have to fight in that war. Just stop doing it. But because there's other people that profit off of that, they feel threatened by Jesus Christ. They had a hate for Jesus Christ. Mostly men. Strongly dislike Jesus. When Jesus did nothing to neither one of them. Women. This is especially for you. Rethink what this word is. A lot of us have been conditioned to believe that love is a feeling. It's like, I can feel my shirt right here. I can feel my skin. No, love is not a feeling. It's an action. You got to have these two things right here about the right. When you're dealing with love, something that you strongly like. Because we need to protect this. The best way to protect love, you got to have morals and standards. You have a mind, use it. Human beings for centuries, millions, a long time have been creating ideologies that work. You have a brain too. Start creating things. What are your morals? What are your standards? Start applying that. This is why you hear a lot of women go out here saying, men ain't nothing, they treat us bad, they abusive, this and that. Because it's something that you're doing. And it's vice versa. Same thing with men. Oh man, these women out here, they whores, they prostitutes, they just gold diggers. No. Morals. Standards. That's the strength of love. You have to maintain that. That's how you know someone truly loves you. You got to have standards. You got to have morals. You confusing love with lust. A lot of us as kids and things like that, we didn't have those safety and security. So a handsome man come along, got money, he look good, say all the right things. He can easily tell you that. But this is a mouth. Look at this whole body. From your feet to the top of your head. The mouth is just running. That's not what love. Love need to be, the whole body need to be functioning. Need to be moving. Food, water, and shelter. Can the man provide that for himself? Can he provide safety and security? Does he have healthy relationships with people? And is he working on goals? They have to act off of that. And if you're with men who are not doing these things, where you have to provide it for them, see, in your mind, you create the image of how you want that man to be. But guess what, people? Guess what, ladies? They're not the mental images that you create in your mind. Let me repeat that. The type of man that you want, how you want them to be, they are not the mental image you create in your mind. You have to do the work. You got to have morals and standards. That can be whatever you want them to be. So you can not hurt yourself, because it's a reflection. When someone's not giving you that love back, it's reflecting because you're not loving yourself, because you don't love yourself enough to have these two things: morals and standards. Same thing with men. A lot of us getting our emotions so easily, we're not thinking. Another thing, let's talk about lust. Right, love, back up on here. I ain't trying this lecture to be this long, but the energy's flowing right now. These are two completely different things. These are not the same things. I'm going to say this 5 times. Love and sex are not the same. Love and sex are not the same. Love and sex is not the same. Love and sex is not the same. Love and sex are not the same thing. And this is what a lot of us confusing, because we're not using our logical side of our brain. We have to analyze, think, then act. Think about it. See, the thing is that you strongly like this and not the individual. That's what a lot of these men are doing out here with women. They don't love you as a person. They just love what's between your legs. They love the feeling of ego. I can go back and tell my friends, like, yeah, man, I'm sleeping with all these women, man. And they look like Halle Berry and all the finest of women. They are fooling you because they can see that you're not analyzing. That's how you get easily manipulated. Love and sex are not the same thing. Sex is just energy exchange between two people to reproduce the physical body. Nothing less, nothing more. Going back to the Bible, why do you think in the Bible God says sex is a gift to married people? Because of that energy exchange. A lot of people call it, pardon my French, they call it busting a nut or that orgasm. But that's a spiritual thing. It's energy you transfer. That's why it feels so good. Don't get tempted by that. Men, stop being tempted by a lot of these women out here. And women, you're setting yourself up. Because you can't, the times when you out here showing your breasts, showing your butt all out. Yeah, we know we're going to show your body. Y'all nothing wrong with that. But you got to understand that there are people out here, their mindsets, Now, you're not a prostitute. But you're dressing similar to the women who are. And because of that, a lot of men will come to you the wrong way. That's what you're attracting. You have more going on yourself than your body part. Like I said before, your vagina's down here. Mine's up here. What's more higher? What's being protected better? Your heart here. Same thing with men. Your penis is down here, your heart right here, your brain right here. You have to use this to protect the things that you love, even from yourself. Analyze. Then act. Energy and motion. Logic, then your emotion. People confusing these two. In the Bible, sex is a gift to married people. Sex is a union, a loyalty, a bond. How many people out here breaking that bond with their wives? Breaking them with their husbands? It's a sign of not being loyal. If you have standards and morals, loyalty has to be one of them. Now, we don't know what people are doing when we're not around them. But the problem is when you find out that that person then broke that loyalty, and they see that you take them back, rewarding someone for bad behavior, they just gonna keep repeating it. It's just like on the movie Baby Boy, and rest in peace to John Singleton, who passed away recently. Passed away today, matter of fact. But anyway, like Baby Boy. What was Yvette doing? And those who know the movie, Yvette accepted Jody for who he was. Jody was a man that was living with his mama with no job, who decided to get boosted clothes and sell them. Jody out here sleeping with all type of women. And what did Yvette do? Keep taking them back. Got another woman pregnant. What did Yvette do? Take them back. Made her get an abortion. What did Yvette do? Took them back. And Yvette sitting here, Jody, I don't like you cheating on me. And, well, Yvette, your action is showing you do like it. As confused as that may sound. Because why are you still with this man? if you don't like that behavior. But you can say, well, I love him. But does he love you enough to stop doing that? See, there's a lot of things that's attached with love. Something that you strongly like, guess what? You're going to respect it. You're going to be loyal, disciplined, patient, committed, consistent, persistent. Like I said before, because of this sex right here, you get these two confused. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. It can conquer hate. And people who don't have that love experience like that, see, when they love things that's lifeless, like physical objects are lifeless. You know, you can love a car, you can love a Rolex watch. But your love is going to easily slip away. And love is an action. You can love something right now and then bam, change it. That's the power that you have in self. Start loving yourself. Because you can't focus on yourself and others at the same time. And we have to start loving ourselves. This is why relationships are messed up right now, because of this right here. Love and sex. Know the difference. Sex is just for reproduction. But our minds have been perverted, so now we not even, a lot of us are born on by accidents. We ain't even planned. I'm one of those babies that wasn't planned. Because people thinking that they love something, but they just want to have sex. And then people are playing fake love to get this. Going back to morals and standards. If you have some morals and some standards, ladies, prime example, number one. I'll give you 5 standards you have. The man got to believe in some type of higher power, whether it's God, Allah, Buddha, himself, he an atheist, whatever it is. He has to believe in some type of higher power. Number 2, he has to have some money. He has to either be working a job or run a business. He has to show that he can take care of himself. Because I see a lot of women out here, they taking care of these men like they think they're children. These guys are like they ain't gotta work. They can do, you know what I'm saying? They spoiling these guys, and they ain't putting in no type of work. And you wonder why you feeling so hurt, or why you back in your mind thinking like, I know my husband cheating on me. I know my boyfriend doing that. Standards, morals. 3, they got to have a means of transportation. They have a vehicle. They get to point A to point B. Because those things show that the individual love themselves. They're not just going to sit here and not make nothing happen. And you want to be, now if you want to sit here and not make nothing happen, you can be in love with somebody like that. Y'all can relate. Everything be fine. But if you got goals, you got plans, you're working on them, that man's just going to drag you back down. And this is vice versa. The same thing with men, with women. You thinking these women love you? You going out here doing what? You being a big trick. You got all this money. You just buying this girl this, buying her that, and she's doing what? Doing anything that you want out of sex. Because she can see that's all you want. And she can go out here and have this sex with any other man. And what's going to happen? You're not going to think logically. Now you're in your emotions. You're going to feel a certain way. That's why a lot of these women get murdered out here. Because a man got crushed. All because of this. Because he thought it was love. But he just loved having sex with this person. Loving to have sex with somebody is not loving the individual as a whole. It's not the same thing. Love for self is the most important thing out here. Because this is the body you operate in. And I'm going to end that lecture off of that. Because love is blind. Start loving yourself more and watch what you love. Because like I said, love is something you strongly like. Hate is something you strongly dislike. Don't let people tell you that you define what love is, you define what hate is. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, download Productions, watch the other lectures, watch the Law of Attractions, and I'm out. Peace.